I'd like to talk about my beloved Blessed Mother, who I cherish and adore and love beyond words. Want to talk a little how I found her, maybe. At least the first thing that got me going back when I was a Protestant is when I read in a secular article, a newspaper, about the documentation from one of the Blessed Mother's apparitions. I was like, what? They're admitting that scientifically proven and was witnessed by 2,000 and everything. And I was like, wow, the secular paper said that? I was like that was my first inkling into the Blessed Mother, into her apparitions. And I was like, wow, that's documented. I thought it was all kind of, somebody said they saw something and that was about it. So that got me going, and then I started looking about for her. Anything, you have interest in something, you keep looking for it. What was it in that kind of time? And then this is what got me. This was the 98, about 97, 98, somewhere in there, maybe 96. And the computer was we were just having the computer, was just here. We were one of the first to have, a real computer around that time. And my wife went to school for it, so that's why we had one in the house. And so I was checking it out. I didn't go on it much. To me, it was like high-tech stuff, so I didn't play with it. But I did have access to sometime, and I was playing around on there looking for what it was on there. And it was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bomb sites, And I can't remember which one it was. But I was looking at this bomb site, and I was like, yeah, look at that. That's like, everything's flat now and I was like, what? There's a church. There's a church still standing. I was like, what? How can a church be there? Did they build that after the bomb went off, And I was like, this picture was taken days after the bomb. It's like they didn't build a church in days, right? I was like, how can a church be standing there? And this is way back before, you could do things with photographs and manipulate them, CGI. So I saw that, and I don't know if it said it in an article or I had to go research what that was, how I found it, but it was listen to this. So I find out that after the bomb, that this place was still standing. It really happened, and it was documented. I found it in another area, not in this article. I researched it about, I don't know, I kept typing in words, and I finally got it, and it said about the surviving monks, from the blast. That's how I found it. I was like, yeah, that might be them, right? So in the article it said their monastery church was 8 blocks from the ground zero from the bomb. 8 blocks, and withstood the bomb. Can you believe that? When things a mile past it were obliterated, gone. So the scientists studied the monks. They studied the monks. There was 30 of them. They studied them to see if they had kryptonite in them, or why they survived this. Why did they study the monks? They should study the building, because the building survived. The monks were just in the building. But listen to this. They were praying the Rosary and survived the bomb, right? And I was a Protestant, and I saw that in an article. I kind of researched it, kind of dug it out, first on the computer. I'm like one of the first in the 90s. And I find out that building existed. The bomb went off. It went out. They're playing the Rosary. I was like, and that paper said that the apparition was real, and I was like, she's the one. I started like my mind was I didn't fully search her for them, but that was the day my mind woke up. She's real, and she's got some kind of, from heaven, she's got power to come down here and do that. I did know that. And then years later I would fall madly in love with her. But those apparitions, so I started researching the apparitions back in those times, right? how many apparitions do you think there was that have been documented, proven and documented and seen by hundreds of people, usually, or more than 10 at least people? Okay? How many? 5 apparitions over 2,000 years? 7? Well, I stopped counting. I wasn't counting. I was writing them all down. I had a journal. I was like, I'm going to write down all the apparitions. I thought there'd be 5 or 7. I stopped. I couldn't do it anymore. I stopped at 75. There's 75 documentations of the Blessed Mother appearing to civilization, to our world, over the 2,000-year period. They're all through history, 1100s, 1200s, all through time. There's proven, documented facts and witness accounts of the apparitions for 75 times over that history that I stopped counting. There's more than that. Can you believe that? So I couldn't, and I was a Protestant, went back to the Catholic Church. That was the nail in the coffin for me. So you'll find if you want to know the truth, come on, don't just hide from it. You guys just worship the Blessed Mother. Just go research about her. We just do it. You owe your life to it, your soul, because she's your mother in heaven. God provided a mother for us. That was her. Do you understand? He didn't have one. Was there a feminine entity in the Godhead? No, there wasn't. We needed one for a family. Isn't family everything? Didn't he show us family is everything? He wanted that. Did Jesus want a mother, and the Father want a daughter, and the Holy Spirit want a wife? Yeah, didn't they? In her? She's everything for us. And what she is for men. Listen, if you're a woman and you're falling in love with Jesus, it's a wonderful thing, but it's harder for a guy to fall that head over heels in love with Jesus. And so God gives us the Blessed Mother for people like me who have a harder time with that kind of stuff. I mean, I love Jesus dearly, but I didn't have a ring. I don't have a ring over there to wed him one day. Even though I will, because so I will through the Blessed Mother. That's how I'm falling in love with Jesus, is through his mother. Who does she madly in love with? Jesus, right? So what's she going to teach me? When you love somebody, don't you teach others to love that same person? What do you think she's doing with me? She's teaching me how to love her son. And I found out how to love her son was to behave right here and do the perfect thing. And not be saying, oh, Jesus, Jesus is the answer. Oh, I believe in Jesus. At the hour of your death, when you face the demons, do you think I believe in Jesus is going to help you? I believe in Jesus. The demons, yes, so do we. Bang! Come on, man. Believing in Jesus will do nothing for you in the hour of your death, It's how you lived your life. And Jesus wants you to live it through him and in him and about him. And create your world through him. Heaven is created by Jesus, and he created it with you in mind and customizing it. Well, live your life the same way. Let him help you build this life, here. Have it be a seamless transition between this life and that one, if you let Jesus work with you now. And who better than the Blessed Mother to lead you to Jesus, to do that, to do the right thing. So I don't have a relationship with Jesus like I do the Blessed Mother, but guess what? I'm being the holiest I can be, and I'm just living a life of charity, unceasing prayer and unceasing charity. That's what the Blessed Mother taught me. Do you think I would have done any better with Jesus? Would he have taught me to do what? Anything more than this? So it works doing it with her. The devil has duped you with in Protestantism. What do you think that was for? The devil didn't want the Blessed Mother being taught. That's why you formed that whole thing. Did you know, you Protestants? Did you know that Luther loved the Blessed Mother and believed in the Eucharist? When he left, he still loved the Blessed Mother and he still did the Eucharist. Do you believe that? Well, then the successors took it away. So you lost what he had. Luther was insane, by the way. He's clinically insane. His life is all documented. He had fights with the devil. Did you know? literal fights. People would like be disturbed. They'd be banging the walls, the devil and him, throwing excrement at each other. This is all documented. His fights with the devil many, many times with excrement being thrown by each other. The devil would be in there physically battling with Luther. And he had many, many issues of the mind. He wanted to throw the book of James out because it contradicted something he believed, and those with him talked him out of it. I mean, see what happened when Luther pulled away from the authority and the Pope with the one line. It means you're open to anybody can do what they want now. So you can go out, oh, let's take these books out of the Bible. They don't make sense to us. Plot, trap, rip. See, if you had one line of authority, one head, you have a head, the Pope, no matter how bad it is, you have a head, and that's authority, and that gives you substance. So how could we see how the devil attacked the Catholic Church. He got the Pope. He got the Pope, and now it's evil because it came in from the top. So how does the devil attack Protestantism? He can't. There is no head. How do you attack it? It is nothing. It's not. The people going to church and preaching the word, no Eucharist, no nothing. So it's the end of the church age. Do you get out of the Protestant church? Well, no, not really, because it's not a church. There's no Eucharist. There's just people getting together, preaching the word and singing and praising God. Hallelujah. No, that's not a real church. So you can still do that. You don't have to get out of that. That's not a real church. That's a worship house. That's what it is. Prayer house, worship house. Has nothing to do with the Eucharist. If you read the beginning of the church with the church fathers, it's built on the Eucharist, the body and blood. What do you think of the Bible? They walked out. Didn't the disciples walk out when Jesus said, this is really my body? And they're like, ew, God, we're out of here. That's Protestantism. Ew, God, we're out of here. It's not the body and blood. Well, that's who we are. We're Catholics. It's the body. You guys can leave. We're believing in the Bible. And so that's what goes through history is the Eucharist. That's the church, not the preaching the word. When I was in a Protestant church and they wanted to make me the pastor, I was sick into my stomach because I wasn't holy at all. And I was like, I'm not holy. How can I be the pastor? I looked around. I was like, they don't care for holiness. The Bible's a textbook. If you know the answers, you can go up there. Oh, I left. I was like, if I could be this is a sinking ship, this place. Whew. So the Catholic Church, it's the end of that, but they had the truth. That's where the truth comes from. They haven't handed it down. Read the books of the saints and the catechism, and you can get the truth without going into the church. All right, guys, let me check the time. I had the clock right there, and I forgot the lock. Probably, it's only 13 something. I got a few minutes left. All right, let me wrap this up. So the Blessed Mother, you know what? You either love the Blessed Mother, or maybe you don't know about her, or you have the thing about her like you don't like her because, you think she usurps Jesus and people worship her, But what's worshiping Mary have to do with Mary? It doesn't have to do with somebody down here worshiping. What's that? Why does that make her bad, I mean, if you guys ever talk about my mother like you talk about Jesus' mother, I would be severely offended and wouldn't be your friend anymore. So you talk about Jesus' mother like that. Think about all the things you say about Jesus' mother. And then you're going to go to heaven, meet Jesus right there, and the first thing he's going to say, what was that about my mother? Hey, he's going to say, what'd you say about my mom? I mean, come on. You're talking about Jesus' mother. I don't care if you think she's born with sin in her. Does that make her a bad person? Wouldn't you still love her? Oh, wouldn't you feel sorry for her? It's the devil, guys. You got duped by the devil. He took you out of her love and arms. That's what he did. Took her out. It's horrible what he did. So, you could have Jesus, it's wonderful, but to have the whole family, when you have the mother, you have the whole family. She brings you into her home, and then you have Jesus and everybody. You have the father, everybody. You have the grandparents. That's with me. I'm bonded with them now. The Holy Family is my family now. That's who I'm bonded with. That's who I pray with. That's who I'm with. That's who my belief system. And when I die, I'm going to be with them. You know, that's how driven I am that Holy Family is my Holy Family. And I mean the extended Holy Family. I mean Aunt Beth and Uncle Zach and Cousin John the Baptist and the three Marys and beloved John and Joachim and Anna, the parents of Mother Mary. They're my grandparents. I have relationships with them. All of them I formed relationships. I spent time with all the people I just told you about. I spent time in deep prayer with and formed a loving relationship with and know them well and spend time at the dinner table with them. You know, all in my imagination that people just cast off like it's like a game, you know, like a kid's game. And then when we get to heaven, we'll see whose was real or not. But that's where it is. That's who I am with the Blessed Mother. She brought me into the whole kingdom. I have everyone. I have Jesus. I have everyone coming in through her. And she's available to everybody, I think, now. I think in the old days, she was only for a few available. Evidently, that's what the writings say, and the saints and the Desert Fathers, and in the Bible, it indicates that she is only meant for a few. But, you know, when it talks about wisdom, you know, that she's not meant for the many. It says that. Wisdom, she's not meant for the many. And it really breaks my heart, because I want her to be with everybody. But she will in heaven. She'll be all your mother. But those, the Protestants in heaven, you'll be like at the edge of her gown, you know, the way at the fringe. That's where you'll be, you know. Whereas I'll be, I don't know where I'll be, but I'm going to be close to her. I love her dearly. And one time I thought, let me end on this. One time I thought just loving her was going to get me to be one of her closest servants, and I was like, oh my God, no. I was appalled. I was like, it's not just a romantic love of her that's going to make me be eligible to be her servant, right? I said, I got to do works here. I got to do holy things. I got to be a holy person, you know, to be eligible for that. Not just this love thing, right? So there's more than this a romantic love. This love that I have in me for someone else does nothing for them, does it? Does it really do anything for them? Your actions around them, taking care of their needs, that's love. That's really love. To tend to them, care for them, love them, pray for them, nurture them. Think of them all the time and their needs, not yours at all. That's love. All right, let's end with that. All right, God bless you guys. Do something good for a stranger tomorrow.